All right, here we go. Tsu Surf in the building. What's up?
What's good?
Man, and I don't say this lightly. We got one of the hardest spitters in hip hop in the building right now.
I like that you say that. I appreciate that hit coming from you.
Well deserved, man. I mean, on the way here, I was
that.
listening to some of the freestyles, and it was like, God damn.
That's love. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you go all out on those.
I try.
You succeed.
Good looks, bro.
Congratulations on everything, man. You really, I think, made a serious mark for yourself.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, starting from the bottom and really with no cosigns or anything, just straight skill level, step by step, man. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, it was your first time here?
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. Grew up in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from Newark.
Newark, New Jersey.
Yep.
You know, a lot of famous people came out of there.
Yeah, we got a decent lineup. I agree.
Some real hip hop, history coming out of Newark.
Yeah.
But things were kind of rough for you growing up.
Facts. I mean, that rough and Newark period growing up, yeah.
Well, I guess you were 13 when you first saw somebody get killed.
Yeah, word.
How was that as a teenager? I mean, barely a teenager.
That shit is real life, you feel me? Like, it's what's going on. It's just, you feel me? Like, it might sound crazy, better late than never, you feel me? Like seeing it, or not better late than never, but seeing it sooner than later, rather. You feel me? Like, I'd rather have seen it than have seeing it when I'm 25, 26, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. For me, it changed the way you look at shit, though. I tell you that much. It definitely changed the way you look at shit.
Now, the person that got killed, this was someone you knew or just a random?
Yeah, nah, we knew him from the hood. Yeah, we knew the homie.
Okay, and then right in front of you.
Yeah, some crazy shit like that. Like, words get transpired, you see shit happen, niggas start fighting. You feel me? Like, you look up, nigga laid out, type shit like that type. I mean,
okay,
like that.
When you saw that, did you run instantly, or were you just so in shock?
Nah, like when the shots started going off, everybody started running, you feel me? Like when you stop though, when you look, like once they stop, you feel me, and everybody look around and you like look back, you see a crowd of motherfuckers, and you feel me? I'm little as hell, you go look and shit, you like, you feel me, see a nigga shit open, like, you feel me? Throw up coming out his mouth, shit open, that shit, I see that shit clear as day every time, like, I could see that. Every time I think about it, I see it the same way.
I mean, do you think that traumatized you?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. This shit deeper than the art. Like, this shit be more serious than the army. You feel me? Like you get 18 years of living, 18 years of understanding and decision making and stuff. By the time you want to go to the army or something like that, you feel me? Like, for a nigga that step in the street or for somebody that jump off the porch, you feel me? Like, that's 11 for some people, that's 12, like in some places that's 10, you know what I mean, like that. So you feel me, to see your peers, people you go to school with, like you go to school one day, somebody you just, whether you like him or not, you just look to the right, he always there, you feel me, and then you go to school the next day and they make an announcement or such and such ain't there, you feel me, like that nigga just not gonna be there no more, you know what I mean, like that happen everywhere, you feel me, like that gotta be traumatizing, like, you feel me, like how do you not feel like that shit is super close to your porch if you could hear the gunshots, like if these people you know what I mean, you go to school, that's my cousin that got shot, that's I mean, like that shit, hell yeah, that shit traumatizing.
Well, if a middle class kid had that happen to him, seeing someone get killed in front of them, they'd go to therapy, they'd probably get taken out of school, there'd be a certain level of care for that person, but kids that grow up in lower class neighborhoods, they just have to deal with it. Is that pretty much what happened to you after you saw that? Was there any sort of therapy or anything of that sort? Because that's a very serious situation.
You just kind of deal with it yourself. But I think that kind of like answer the question of how scary it is. You feel me? Like how embedded it is in our communities. Period. You feel me? To where it's like when somebody die, we just go through it's like rinse and repeat. You feel me? Somebody die, we do the shirts. We do the candle lighting, we do the, you know what I mean, that he was a good guy, you know what I mean, and then school goes on, life goes on, gangbanging goes on, jobs go on, you know what I mean, it's like such a rinse and repeat cycle, you know what I mean, that you, like, don't nobody stop and really just be like, yo, people getting cooked out here, you know what I mean?
Sad, man. Sad. I mean, you personally, did you grow up in a two-parent home, one-parent home?
Nah, yeah, one parent, like me and my mom's.
Okay. Where was your dad around during that time?
Doing what doing father stuff, so other places, doing what
Okay.
he was doing, you feel me?
So did you have a relationship with him at all or not
Yeah,
really?
we spoke, you feel me? We spoke. Like, I mean, I wasn't act like he was one of them, you know, I ain't never see my dad type. We spoke. It ain't the relationship you expect to have with a father or being a father, you feel me? Like,
Yeah.
especially once you become a father, you know what I mean? You realize how much of a father you didn't have. Like, if I'm calculating how much of a father I'm trying to be to my kid compared to how much of a father I got, you feel me? Like, it really wasn't shit. I mean,
I mean, a lot of times when you have this kind of situation where you have, the father not really around, people end up looking to the streets and looking for the OGs and the big homies to kind of fill that role. Do you
yeah,
think that that kind of happened in
that's
the streets?
usually how it go. Like, that's how it go for like majority of the, you feel me? Subconsciously, some way, shape, or form, it's like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the only child, so whether it be from, you feel me, like you not having no cousins, not having no brothers, to, you feel me, like your pops not being around, and you know what I mean? Like, you look for that 19, 20-year-old, you 12, you feel me? Like, you outside, you chilling with, that's how it happened. You feel me? Like, we not going, again, those them cycles that we have, the not having the after school programs, not having the pops, nobody to want to shoot hoops or throw footballs and stuff like that. You end up in a trap house with somebody doing other stuff. You feel me? Like, that's really how it happened when you don't got them other outlets to do other things. You know what I mean?
Like, how old were you when you first started getting mixed up in the streets?
13.
Right after that situation? Right after the shooting?
Like before that.
Before that?
Yeah, well, like right before
Okay,
that.
so that was, I mean, you getting mixed up in that and then you see someone get killed in front of you.
Yeah.
Was there a certain level of maybe this isn't the right path I want to go down because this might
Nah,
happen
you
to
get
me?
like, you get, I took some time to myself, and it was just like, either you going to be with, like, you going to be involved with this shit, or you going, I mean, or you going, or this ain't the life, you feel me, type shit. Like, and that's what happened. Like, you feel me? Like, I feel like everybody, I mean, that's what happened to me. I feel like everybody should have that little, or go through that, but that's what I went through. Like, after seeing that, it was like, yo, you either about to go hard or you gonna leave this shit alone. And that shit just opened another door, you feel me? And that was, once that door opened, you feel me, like, that shit just get worse. I mean, you keep it 100 if we keeping it tall.
You've always talked about the Rollin 60s
Yeah.
in Newark. I interviewed Big U not too long ago, who's, one of the OGs. Well, before we even talk about that, how did the Rollin 60s even make it to the East Coast in Newark? Did you know that history?
I mean, and that's for any gang on the East Coast. Like, it's just migration. That's anything on, like, that's life. Like, how did any of us get where we are? It's migration. You feel me? Like, to give you the smallest, quickest answer. You know what I mean? Like, you can't put. I wouldn't put nobody in no places or no. It's not because of no, but migration. You know what I mean? Like, you got people go from California to New Jersey. People move from New Jersey to Atlanta. People move from Atlanta to San Diego. That's how it happened. You know what I mean? So the culture is strong. It's a strong culture. Like, not specifying on one gang or one set, because it's a lot. It's everything on my side. It's everything. You got Rollin 60s, you got Brims, you got Pirus, you got, Main Streets, you got Grape Streets, you got, you know what I mean? The culture's a strong culture. Gang culture's a real thing. You know what I mean? So it migrated over to the East Coast, and it's a everyday lifestyle. Some people wake up to that shit like it's, you know what I mean? Like anything else, like it's a sorority, like it's a job, like it's a fraternity, you know what I mean? Like, it happened like that over there.
Was the Rollin 60s around like before you were a kid, or did it start to kind of form as you're becoming a teenager?
Um, I mean, shit. I'd probably say, I don't know. That's a good question. You feel me? Like, it's all that's way. I mean, this ain't a new thing.
Well,
You
the
feel me?
Rollin
Like,
60s have always,
yeah,
on
this
the West
forever.
Coast
Like,
has
yeah,
been a
that's
thing.
why that question just threw
No,
me off. This
but
is
I mean, but
forever.
like in Newark though.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, it was prior to me. Like, you know what I mean? I
Okay.
wasn't like, I didn't walk up and say, yo, let's, like, I ain't make this shit up. You know what I mean? Type
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean? Like, this was a prior to me. You know what I mean? Like, this is an up and running, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to, you know what I mean? Organization. You know what I mean? Like, It was before, I'm young, you know what I mean? I was born in 1990, you feel me? All this shit is before me.
Yeah. So you yourself, you started getting mixed up in that around 13.
Mm.
Early on, what were some of the losses that you took? Because, when you talk about that, this is not just fun and games.
Nah, you lose a lot. You lose a lot with that shit, you feel me? Like for one, it ain't always a decision that's just made. Like, you feel me? Like, it ain't always just a you want to do it type of thing. You feel me? Like, sometimes it just, you know what I mean? It's that. You placed there. You're there. You feel me? So you take a lot of losses with that shit. You lose relationships. That's the biggest thing. You feel me? Like, I feel like that shit put a strain on the relationship with me and my pops. You know what I mean? Like, once my pops realized I was in the streets, you feel me? How hard he was in the streets, and him hearing, you feel me, like the type of shit I was into and what I had going on and what I was doing, I think that put a super duper strain on our relationship, you feel me, to this day, you feel me? So like, that's the biggest thing, you feel me? For like Mom Dukes, you know what I mean? When your moms go to school and she find out, you feel me? She find out like what you into, the teachers tell her, you know what I mean? And, just thinking back of how it started, your mother opening them notebooks and seeing the hood tagged up and shit, that's the first thing you lose, you feel me, is the relationships. You feel me? Like the relationships start going down the drain. You know what I mean? People that don't understand shit start looking at you a little crazy. You know what I mean? You be a little alienated. You know what I mean? And then the list just start getting checked off. Then you start losing friends. You know what I mean? Then you start losing time. Here come the charges. You know what I mean? You could lose your life. You start losing a lot. I mean, it's a lot you lose with that shit. You feel me?
Like, how old were you when you first started getting arrested and getting in trouble?
I ain't catch a charge. I ain't catch a charge till I was 18.
Can you say what that was for?
Yeah, possession of a weapon.
Okay, gun.
Well,
How long did they give you for that?
supposed to get 3 years. You do 1 year off of that. You gotta do a year mandatory minimum, 3 with a 1. So you gotta do about 12 months off that shit.
Okay, so at 18, were you going to high school at the time, or?
Nah, I graduated like 17. I
Okay.
graduated at 17. Well,
So you come out of high school, and then you catch a gun charge,
well,
and then you're in jail for a year.
well.
Is it jail or is it prison?
Nah, it's jail.
Jail.
Yeah, it's a difference. People get that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
jail is fighting a charge. Like people don't know how to differentiate the two. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you could go to jail a gazillion times. You don't ever have to go to prison. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go to prison. Oh, it was jail. You know what I mean? And then I did a year in jail, and then I bailed out. Then I did a year in prison.
Oh, so you did 2 years total
Yeah, on that charge.
on that
Exactly.
charge. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're fighting it for a year. They give you like a 1 year time served. They tacked on another year.
You know what I mean? I'm fighting the charge. I bail out. I'm still going to court for the charge.
Yeah.
You feel me? Then I end up taking, all right, give me the 3 years.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So I end up pulling like 20 months off
Okay.
20-something months off that shit.
So what was that like as an 18-year-old suddenly being in prison?
You get tossed into like the grown man school. You feel me? Like that's another world. Like it's grown men in there. You know what I mean? Like it's gladiator school in there. You know what I mean? Type shit. And those the things like people like me, people where I'm from, like you grow up real fast. Or they be like, you know what I mean? Somebody 18, but they look 24, 25. You know what I mean? Or they feel like they 25, 26. It be shit like that. You know what I mean? It's a whole nother world. You know what I mean? Ain't no mommy, ain't no calling when you want. That door don't open for nobody. You know what I mean? Like when that door closed, that bitch closed. You know what I mean? So it's a whole nother world. You know what I mean? Like you either going to chest up and man up or it's going to be a long ride. You know what I mean? And so it's usually a long ride for a lot of people. I mean.
And where'd you get locked up? Where'd you do your prison time?
No, well, I got locked up in Essex County.
Okay, and then you did the prison in...
Yeah. Well, I did Annandale, New Jersey. I was in
Okay.
Annandale, New Jersey, but yeah.
So once you got in there, was everything essentially clicked up? You had the Crips, the Bloods, the Latin Kings, and everything else like that?
I mean, yeah, most jails
Right.
is clicked up, whether like in some way, shape, or form. You feel me? Like the names may be different, and you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. But most jails be clicked up. You know what I mean?
Okay, and since you were already a Crip,
Already
then you
affiliated to something that you kind of, you know what I mean? You make your way to your affiliated side.
What do you think was the craziest thing you experienced during that 1 year locked up?
23 and 1. 23 and 1.
23-hour lockdown.
Yeah, that's like, you feel me? Like you get some people that, the only people that talk about 23 and 1 like it's regular is people that's not like mentally You know what I mean? If you ever talking to somebody and somebody just comfortably, just, you know what I mean? And it's funny because I was just talking to my old head. He was just like, yeah, I did, you know what I mean? He did 7 years in the hole. It's 23-1. But he was doing like every 3 days he got to come out for a shower or a phone call. You feel me?
Every 3 days.
Yeah, he was coming out every 3 days. But 23-1, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like I never had to do a whole trip until my last, you feel me? My last situation. You feel me? Like, so that 23-1, you lock somebody in the room for 23, like, I'm coming out for an hour, I gotta figure this out. You know what I mean? Type shit, shower, phone, like, that shit's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's another world, that's another story, you feel me? Type shit. Like, you know what I mean? You got 4 books, you done read every book in there 1,000 times already. Your body tight, you done did 1,000,000 push-ups, you feel me? I can't call my daughter again till, not even tomorrow, the next day after tomorrow.
Wait,
because
so you had a daughter by the time you were locked up at 18?
no, by the time I was locked up, my baby mom was pregnant.
Oh, she was pregnant. Okay.
You know what I mean? Type shit.
So you had a baby on the way.
Yeah, I had a baby on the way type shit. You know
Okay,
what I
how
mean?
stressful was that?
Yeah, nah. Like,
I mean, because were you there for the birth?
Nah.
So you were locked up.
I ain't come home till my daughter was 3 months. Facts.
I know that must have killed you.
Yeah, nah. That shit crazy. Like it's a everyday story. You feel me? Like, these type of interviews don't really be like, it might say my name, but this the story, like this 1,000,000 times. You feel me? Like, this regular. You know what I mean? This regular. This ain't nothing. This a nigga that ain't come home till his daughter was 5 years old, 6 years old. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, this a regular story. You know what I mean? I just so happened got the following and the platform to speak on it. But yeah, that's how it's happening out here. You know what I mean? That's how it happened.
So you get out and you're what, 19 at the time?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And you have a daughter now.
Word.
Who's a few months old. Were you already rapping before then or no?
I ain't start rapping till I came home. In between that first time, like that year,
Okay.
I wasn't rapping. I met some old head and he like put his arm around me and like really put some shit in my ear. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? You're right. And then I started rapping and I got a little following. And then I had to do that year. And then I came home and it was like people was kind of waiting me to come home, you know what I mean, type shit. And that's what kind of kicked off, you know what I mean? That's what kind of kicked off with this shit, so.
A lot of guys start rapping at like 12, 13. You started quite a bit later.
Nah, I've been rapping for forever. Like, my mom's bought me a karaoke machine when
Okay.
I was 8. My 8th grade yearbook say rapper. Like, I never thought,
Okay.
I never had a job. I never thought I was going to do nothing else. Like, I've always been the best rapper everywhere I went since I was for forever. Cafeterias, jail, everywhere. Like, I never thought I was going to do nothing else.
Okay. But you started taking seriously at
After
like
that, yeah, after that bid.
After that bid.
Well,
Okay. So now you're taking it seriously, and what starts to happen?
nothing.
Nothing. It's a little
Nothing.
local following, and that's it.
Like, like that's, you know what I mean? Like, niggas think that it's supposed to happen on your time. Like, it ain't like that. You know what I mean? Like, it don't happen on your time. That shit happen when it's supposed to happen. You feel me? It's like niggas think somebody pop overnight, or you just because you find out about them, you know what I mean? You just think that they just made a song, put it on YouTube, and that shit just blow up. Like, that's not how it happened. It be taking niggas 10, 12, 15 years to be an overnight, you feel me, be an overnight success. Like, it sound like overnight success because you just heard of him, but nigga been in the studio. I mean, that nigga been working. That nigga countless hours he had to travel to record with this one and that one and shit like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that shit take forever.
Okay. And did you start with the battle rapping in the beginning, or not really?
Yeah, it was really bad. It was battle rapping first.
Every rapper battle raps at some point, you know, whether it's in school or whether with their friends in the studio or whatever else. But very few of them actually take that step to say, okay, I'm really going to battle rap and I'm really going to go up against the top dogs and so forth.
Yeah.
Like, at what point did you say, okay, I'm really going to take this battle rap shit seriously?
Nah, it wasn't. Like, it was like, at one point, like, battle rap is like damn near profession right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, battle rap is a job. Like, you get paid enough to, like, a salary for battle rap now. You know what I mean? Like, at the point when I started with battle rap, it was like, what else? What the fuck else am I gonna do? You feel me? Like, this a good day out the year. And me and my homies get the car, pull up, and go drive to New York and battle some nigga from St. Louis or Detroit or, you know what I mean, wherever the fuck, you know what I mean, they from. We get to go take and battle. You know what I mean? There's something to do. It's something different, something other than what we doing every day, what we got going on. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really like I'ma do. It's like, what else I'ma do? You feel me? Like, if not, like, if I don't go out that bitch, if I don't go battle today, I'm going to the hood, guaranteed. I mean,
And what was your first like big battle?
me versus Young Ill on URL Smack.
Young Ill, and that
Yeah.
was what year?
I was like 2010. 2010. That was 2010.
Okay, yeah, it was like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
9 years ago. Okay, so you go and do that battle.
Yeah, I was fighting this. I was fighting the gun charge at this time. Like, I just came home on bail, and then you know what I mean. I had this battle. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
and then you go back in.
And then I go back in. Yeah, and
Okay.
then
Then you come out
and I battle.
and
Yeah.
you start to battle again.
Uh-huh.
Was it always a focus on the battling, or were you trying to focus on the music as well?
Nah, it was just always something to do. Like, it was never like, you know, at some point I started putting out music too, but it was never like a get popping, you know what I mean, get this amount of followers on Instagram, get this amount it was never that. It was something to do. You know what I mean? Something other than us ripping and running and sliding and mobbing, you know what I mean? Like, it was just something that was like a little crack of brightness, you feel me, and a lot of shit we had going on, you feel me? So
Yeah, and I mean, I was involved in the battle rap scene
Yeah.
for a while, and you know, battle rap fans are a whole different breed.
yeah, it's a
Like,
whole nother culture.
It's a
another-
whole
yeah.
different type of culture, and it's always, you know, there are certain times where they've tried to take battle rap like mainstream
To the next level.
and it's just never happened.
Yeah.
because I feel it's so grimy,
Oh, it's a
and that's
symbol.
what makes it what it is. That
It's a
it,
simple answer, yeah.
Yeah.
To why, like, it's a line, and once you cross a line, once you cross the line, it takes away from this side. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like what we know battle rap for is like the garage, 15, 20 niggas inside the garage. You understand what I'm saying? But now battle rap is at a point where it costs. You understand what I'm saying? So to make $1 from battle rap, what we need bigger space. We need more people. So it's like if I want that battle rap feel, I want to put them in a garage. But
yeah.
if I want to make the money, I want to put them in Madison Square Garden. But battle rap don't feel like battle rap if I'm sitting in the nosebleeds at Madison Square Garden.
Right.
So you lose something when you once battle rap becomes about the dollar, it loses a essence of the culture that's needed for what it originally is. You know what I mean? What we love battle rap for. You know what I mean? So like I said, like, battle rap really wasn't built for the PlayStation Theater or Staples Center. You know what I mean? Like, of course you could do it. Of course you could try it. You know what I mean? But that's what it seems like from what I've seen. That's what it seems like once you get to that threshold right there. You know, they've done, like, you know what I mean? The Slaughterhouse,
Total Slaughter.
Total Slaughter thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's like once you get to a certain threshold, it just don't give you that two niggas spitting in each other's face. Somebody could get hurt in here feel like it
Right.
doesn't. You know what I mean? It don't cross over well.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, the greatest battle I've ever attended was the Cassidy disaster battle,
Yeah.
and that was because the actual battle that was supposed to be on stage didn't happen, so they
And
had
it
to do it in
ended
a
up-
garage,
Yeah.
and that was like one of the most hip hop things I've ever experienced because it was in a garage with like 40, 50 people.
That's when hip hop at its best though. Like
Yeah.
when you pull everything away from it, you know what I mean? Like type shit, like some of the best, you know what I mean? TRL, shit like that. You take Lauryn Hill, you sit on a stool and 50 people around her on beanbags. It sounds way better than being in the nosebleeds at a concert. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the tough part for battle rap. You know, it's like, and then again, it's 7 billion people in the world. How many people really interested in battle rap? Like, if you got a good song, if I got a good song, your grandma can hear it. Just one day she's bumping 105 and it comes on. She's like, oh, I like that song. Tsu Surf versus whoever, round 3 is never gonna come up on Hot 97. You know what I mean? So like the chances of like that stream of that culture is very slim for people, for a person that's not interested in it. You know what I mean? Like I've stumbled on some of the best music that's not in, you know what I mean? Like Green Day and fucking, you know what I mean, Avril Lavigne, all types of weird shit that I just stumbled on, you know what I mean, that is not like technically my everyday music. You know what I mean? But you don't do that with battle rap if that's not your thing. You know what I mean? So it's very hard for that to click for people.
I mean, do you think that Hitman Holler was your biggest battle?
Um, yeah, today, yeah, number wise and shit. Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking at it now. It's like almost 6 million views.
Yeah. You know, I think that's just like a clash of following. You know what I mean? Like Hitman doing his thing on TV and shit like that. You know what I mean? He always was a big character. Like as far as not character like him, that's my man. But as far as battle rap goes, he's like a big, you know what I mean, like a big entity. You know what I mean, type shit. And then me also. You know what I mean? So that clash was a big clash.
You're battling, and you're getting a big following,
Yeah.
and you're doing, you're battling the top dudes, and then it seems like at one point you kind of stop. Is that correct?
Um, I mean, only time I stopped was like little bids in between. Like, I mean,
Okay.
I was never like, see, my thing was like, I think that was, but that's one of my pluses. I never battled too much. You know what I mean? Like some of these niggas got 130 battles, 120 battles. You know what I mean? I think I might have 20 battles. You know what I mean? But I feel like quality over quantity. I might battle twice a year. You know what I mean? Unless I get into some stupid shit and then, you know what I mean? So I never was a 3-4 battles a year type of guy anyway. Like that was never really my plan.
Okay, and why was that? Like, why not do 6 battles a year?
Because I felt like, well, I just never felt like niggas be chasing an invisible belt. You know what I mean? It's like you never going. It's always, especially with this being an opinionated sport. You know what I mean? It's like how you know who won, who's the best, it's always gonna be somebody to argue that you're not. There's always gonna be some guy coming up, you know what I mean, saying that they're better than. So it's so argumentative that I'd rather just banter, like just troll everybody and talk shit, you know what I mean, and get my entertainment out of it until I'm done, you know what I mean. And then it got to a point where it was like my music was holding me down, you know what I mean, in a sense, almost like, not even almost, monetarily, it was like, it was enough where I could battle, and then I was doing enough in between musically, whether I had been touring with Joe Budden or my merch or, you know what I mean, mixtapes and stuff like that. It was keeping me afloat, so I was able to battle less, you know what I mean, and then, that's how that happened. So it never really made sense, like, for me to battle, and then, naturally a person would think, oh, well, if I'm making $5,000-$6,000 a battle, if I battle 10 times, that's 60,000, but you start losing your quality. How much do a person want to see you? How much do they, once you stop becoming wanted or a household name, now what? You know what I mean? So I'd rather battle 2 times for 40,000 as opposed to battle, you know what I mean, 7 times, you know what I mean, for 7,000, get 49 and lose value. And more work.
I mean, at one point, like when you talk about battling, there were judges. When you look at like the old Blaze battles and stuff like that,
Fight Club, shit like
Fight
that.
Club, there'd be a couple of, there'd be like 3 people who, are established in hip hop. The battle happens, each person votes, and then there's a clear winner.
Yeah.
But when you look at like Smack and the other big leagues, none of them do that shit.
Yeah.
Basically it comes out and the comments will be the comments.
Yeah.
Did you ever want it to go back to the actual voting?
Nah, it's a cheat code. It's a cheat code for the numbers.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because it always leaves the book open. If me and you could argue about this, we'll argue for forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So some of these numbers, like you see 6 million views on the battle, if they had 3 judges who would have told you who won, those views would have probably got cut by a third. Because it'd be no reason to go back and us to discuss what we don't have to go back and look to figure this out because they already gave you an answer. You know what I mean? So a lot of these battles are viewed like this because they keep the judgment part of it open. You know what I mean? As long as there's an open-ended question, the possibility's endless. You know what I mean? So it leaves some of these battles are just shit, or, some of the battlers just don't know how to promote a battle, or, you know what I mean, have the following, so the numbers don't matter. But, for the bigger battlers and the bigger names, the actual fact of it being open-ended is what makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're doing your battles and you have a strong following and you're getting the top battles, but things start happening along the way.
Yeah.
So, at one point you catch I guess an attempted murder charge?
Some type of stuff, something like that.
Something like that.
Or
Can you talk about that at all?
something like that.
Not really.
I mean, we could. What's up? What's the question?
Can you talk about the situation?
Yeah,
I mean, you ended up doing you ended
yeah.
up doing a year for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was in jail, so you know what I mean. I didn't end up doing a year for attempted murder. You know what I mean. I was in jail. I was fighting a case of.
Got it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
it's
attempted murder doesn't carry a year.
It doesn't. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Right.
What you do is we're talking about what's on the paper. What is the charge that he's in here for?
Got it.
If you were looking me up as a correctional officer, like if you were a correctional officer and I was on your tier, you would look at my charge up. That's my charge. You know what I mean? That I was fighting. And then, you know, once you fight the case, things get thrown out. This happened. Your lawyer beat this. Well, this gets dropped. Blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is what's going on here.
Got it. Worst case, if that charge if you ended up blowing trial on a charge like that, what were you facing?
The papers say life. Like, you know, like
You were
paperwork.
facing life in prison.
Yeah, that's what the paperwork say, but that's that jail shit for you. You know what I mean? Like if you don't like, it's almost fucked up. You know what I mean? Like that a lot of people, like where I come from, you don't really face these. You don't get these type of answers, and you don't understand this type of stuff until it's smack dab right in your face. You know what I mean? Like not knowing your laws and things like that. You know what I mean? Like of course, certain laws hold certain things. But once you start taking out the shit that you can't, you know what I mean, attempted murder got to be above the waist, and this got to be, and this has to be like this before that. And we really don't pay attention to those things, you know what I mean, until it's smack dab in our face. And now it's like, do you got 30,000 for a lawyer? Do you got 40,000 for a lawyer? So even if this is true, who's there to speak it for you? Because you don't know how to speak it. You can't go for yourself, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that. You can't talk for yourself. So that's how you get trapped in that hole of, you know what I mean, getting life for something that really ain't even life. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, because when you deal with a public defender, they don't really give a shit.
The public defenders play golf with the judges on their off time. The public defenders are very cool with the lawyers on their off time. With the
prosecutors, yeah.
Could I talk to you in the chambers? They go back there, haha, Steve, listen, man, I'm just trying to get out of here. That's a fact. That's what that's what our culture, that's what people where I come from don't know. You know what I mean? You think, you know, it's scary how many of us, you know what I mean, go in there and think that, oh no, I got a court-appointed lawyer, I'm okay. No, you're not.
Nope.
You're not okay. They don't care.
No.
They do not care. You show me a public defender that cares, and I'll show you a liar.
Yeah, no, I mean, I interviewed Boosie, who was facing the death penalty.
Yeah.
You know, he was facing murders in Louisiana, and he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get off of death row. You look at how much money you spent on lawyer fees, which ended up beating the case. How much did you spend altogether?
Probably $250,000.
Probably the best $250,000 you ever spent in your life, huh?
Yeah, it was. I had a damn Jason Williams and Martin Ray. I had Johnny Cochran, man. This dude. They got an O.J. Simpson trial. They need a damn Boosie trial. You would have saw Johnny Cochran in his flesh. But I give God the thanks. I don't, you know, my lawyers did that, but that was God making them work. So, but I had a hell of a damn defense team. You know, I had jury selectors. I was paying. You know, I had a hell of a defense team. You know, I was prepared, man.
Right. So if you look as if you weren't Boosie, if you were just some regular dude that had to defend himself with a public defender, what do you think would have happened?
Oh, I probably would have got, I don't know. I probably would have, I told you, like, I believe in God, but I probably would have got convicted because the public defender works for the state.
It's a difference. Like, it's a difference. People think that, like, it's a difference. You know, like I said, the people that's not in those situations, he told, or how he get out of that situation. A lawyer makes a difference. Somebody that knows what they're talking about and knows the ins and outs of that. I can't press to you how much a paid attorney makes a difference. Just somebody walking in there with a suit, an expensive suit to represent you, like off rip. I'm talking about the judge not even knowing your attorney. I'm talking about the judge look up your attorney, walk in and because the judge wears suits. He's like, oh, that's a $10,000 suit right there. Oh, this is an expensive. Who is this guy? The judge gonna sit up automatically just because of who the way your attorney walks in. Once he says his name, things like that. Like your representation matters. Your representation matters. If the judge look up and there's 20 people right there behind your attorney, and that's your family, when your attorney go to walk out, then 20 people walk out. It's like, oh somebody, this not just another one. This not just all that stuff play a game into the system of how things play out. And people don't understand that, you know what I mean? People will see a law like, oh, well, it was a shooting charge. So if it's a shooting, then he's supposed to get 7 because my man got 7. And that's not the way the game worked. Your man didn't have a lawyer.
Right.
You know what I mean? The judge looked at your man's rap sheet and he's been going to jail since he was 11. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Your man ain't got no college credit. Shit like all that stuff when it's time to play ball. And that's what niggas don't know about. That's what niggas don't be ready for. They don't be ready to play ball. You be in the streets, no jail money, no bail money, no food money. When it's time to play ball, it get real dark in there.
How old were you when you caught that charge?
18.
Oh, so
when I caught the initial charge or the last charge?
The attempted murder one.
March of 2000. What's that? March 2017. That little.
Okay,
or
so
March 17.
How old?
Like,
You're
27.
27. Now, you've been through the system before, so you know how the laws work. But as a 27-year-old, to be told you're potentially facing life in prison, what does that do to you mentally?
I mean,
you can't just shake that off.
Nah, you don't. Nah, it's not a shake off thing. Like, it's not a shake off thing, because it's like you've been through the system before. You know it's time. Like, you know it's not life. Like, you know it's not life because of I like I said, I've been here before. I've been and once you experience is the best teacher. You know what I mean? Like, I've not just through me, like I've had the bunkie who was like, all right, well, his situation was a little worse than mine. And I've played spades with the guy who was going through this, and you know what I mean? I'm no dummy. So I understand the system. You know what I mean? So, you looking at your case and you like, well, damn, well, I know it's not life. You know what I mean? But even you figure even with them having an offer number, and the offer's like, all right, well, 12. You know what I mean? Because that's where the number started. They start at 12. So I'm thinking in my head like, all right, well, where I'm from, you get about 2 or 3 offers. So in my mind, like, honestly, I was never thinking life. I'm like, man, worst come to worst, and you get caught up in some bullshit. 7. But that's too much. That's too much for a nigga in a situation like this. You know what I mean? Like with what I got going on in my following and, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, that's way too much. You know what I mean?
So here you are. You're facing this very serious charge. And you go and get a paid lawyer.
Yeah.
Ultimately, how much money did you end up spending on your lawyer?
Well, I was already on bail for a charge, so I was already on bail for a possession charge. You know what I mean? So I already had a lawyer fighting one case. So I went in and had to get another lawyer for this case. You know what I mean? So probably between them, like within that whole little 2.5 year span or something like that, like $55,000, $60,000.
$60,000.
Yeah, like $55,000, $60,000.
So if you weren't a rapper and you didn't have that type of money, we would be having a prison phone call right now.
Yeah, it's rinse and repeat. That's what I'm saying. Like, is like, look at the cycle that they put you in. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad enough, it's hard enough to get a job. It's hard enough to take care. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you're already in a position where you got to do some fucked up shit to get by. You know what I mean? Then you get cased up for some fucked up shit, and then you don't got enough, or you don't got enough to take care to get you out of that fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lose-lose. You know what I mean? And
you have a child on top of that.
And you got a child.
You know what I'm saying? Which is expensive.
And that's it all
adds up.
I'll be honest, like, and that's like a ballpark. That's like a swing. Like, that's like my lawyer having a decent job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, I could get you, like, you good, I got you. Like, that's one of those, you know what I mean? Like, you got cases where motherfuckers really be having a fight. Like, a lawyer he got his tie up. He been up till 7 a.m. I'm talking about $100,000 cases. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
I mean, if he had to litigate, if he had to actually go to court, you're talking about $200,000-$300,000 easy.
You know what I mean? Shit like that. So we getting put in situations already. Like, none of us is making $60,000 a year. None of us is making, you know what I mean, this type of money to even get out of this situation. And then once you caught up, you stuck. Like once you get caught in that system, you stuck. And even if you go free, now you really not getting a job. Now it's 10 times harder. Now you definitely going back. Now you know what I mean? It's a cycle.
So you get a lawyer, and does he just keep fighting it until they drop the whole case?
Nah, you know, like anybody that's been like cased up, you know, like it's a waiting game and a playing game, you know, back and forth. You get your court dates, you go to court, you come back to court, your lawyer put in this motion, this get dropped, you know what I mean? Your lawyer, you know, you look at it this way type of dates and stuff like that. And that's all it really is. That's, you know what I mean? It's a back and forth game and a relationship game. It's politics. It's no different than the streets or business, or if me and you are cool and you want to buy something from me, I might give you a better cut deal than if a random guy walks up. You know what I mean? If a random guy's like, yo, how much you want for that? I say 700. And me and you went to school together, you might get it for 698. In jail terms, that 698 is a difference.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So now if my lawyer is whomever he may be, and just so happen, you know what I mean, just a bunch of guys that's had this lawyer has been in the same court. You know what I mean? So they're familiar with each other. That 7 could look like 5.5 off of just what that judge knows he can. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a judge is a straight stiff you, and because he's from friends with a lawyer, he's like, oh, realistically, I could skim 6 off the top if I wanted to. Like, some of these charges, best believe you could count these judges for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years that they could take off the top if they wanted to.
Okay. So you ended up doing a year.
Yeah.
How did it feel to walk away from that?
Oh, that's the best feeling in my life. Like you feel like a dummy, my nigga. Like you feel stupid. You know what I mean? Like I said, I ain't going like, you know, like that was the worst. I'm getting mail from Africa. I'm getting mail from Germany. I'm getting mail from Australia. Like, you know what I mean? And you really just sit back and just really like kind of realize what you know what I mean? What you almost lost. You feel me? Type shit like, damn, like, you know, like I said, COs coming to the door, knocking on the door like, yo, I ain't supposed to be doing this, but could I get an autograph for my, you know what I mean? And you feel like a fucking asshole, my nigga. Like, and that's really, I just felt so stupid, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like, you know, like you almost get so comfortable that you feel like a dickhead. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm talking about, you know, like the COs let me stay out longer. You know what I mean? Like the CO get there, everybody doing count, they bust my door early. Yo, come out now, you good. You know what I mean? You can stay on the phone longer. Like it's like, all right, if this was jail, if this was my life, this would be great. You know what I mean? But you feel
still
more
jail though.
Yeah, you feel more like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? You sitting there, I'm sitting there in the day room, and I'm sitting with somebody, and you know these regular people too, so they know this shit. And you see Hitman hollering, can see it on TV. You know what I mean? And you sitting there next to a nigga, and the nigga just like, and you know what I mean? And it's jail.
Did
so
you battle this guy?
Yeah, and exactly, and he really don't want to ask you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, cause it's jail. Like a nigga, you don't know what a nigga going through. You feel me? But you know, and then you kind of sit there and you give him that look, like, go ahead. You know what I mean? He's like, you're like, it almost like a what happened? You know what I mean? Type of thing, because like real, and you don't. I feel like, when people want to come up, whatever it may be, comedian, rapper, basketball, like you just go through like this little gap where you don't really know where you are. You don't really know how big you are or where you stand in the grand scheme of things and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I just think that was my point right there, where it was like, all right, you're a little bigger than you moving. You know what I mean? Like you out here in shootouts.
Yeah, and everyone around you doesn't have fans, doesn't have potential, and you're right there eating the same food.
Same food,
sleeping in the same bed.
You know what I mean? Like 3 trays, it's to sound good. Like 3 trays,
the same showers.
Over one. Crazy, it's crazy. It's sick.
Yeah. So you get out, and then last year there's a situation where you get shot.
Word.
You get shot 5 times. Can you talk about that situation?
Yeah.
So what happened?
Shit, I was at the light. Niggas started shooting. Niggas started shooting through the window.
You were in Jersey?
Word.
In your own neighborhood?
Yeah, I was in Newark. I'm from Newark. I was in Newark.
You know, we talk about this a lot on VladTV about, you know, Boosie originally talked about how rappers usually get shot in their own cities.
Wherever you from, you will get hated the most. You know, most rappers die in their own city, man. It's a fact. And, you know, you have haters who who was in school with you and they mad because they was in that third grade class with you, but they don't have the same hustle as you. You know, they hate you for no reason. They hate you for your success.
It's home. It's home.
OMB Peasy, who we interviewed not too long ago, said that, you know, that Boosie interview changed his life.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a powerful interview. Cause that little nigga, that opened a light up, you feel me? Like, you feel me? That let me know that when I go back home, you feel me, I'm gonna have to be on my toes 10 times harder just because that's my city, you feel me?
But a couple days ago, he got shot in his own city.
It's home. Chinks, Stacks.
Chinks.
I think X.
We interviewed Young Greatness. We talked about the same situation, and some years later, he gets killed in his own city.
I also live in Atlanta, but I look at it like, anywhere you go at, it's gonna be some drama. It's gonna be hate, but it ain't gonna be no hate like, you know, the city where you from. You know, I'm faced with it every day. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, you know, I just keep on moving. I just keep working. I give them some more stuff to hate about. I'm just being real with you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really give a fuck about that. You know, they're gonna talk, they're gonna say whatever they wanna say. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just have to keep the real genuine people around you and keep some savages around you, because if they get on some savage shit, you just gotta be ready to get back on some savage shit with them. You know what I'm saying? I just was raised like that. You shouldn't fear no man but God. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not letting nobody, you know, run me from, my family. And my family's in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a dummy, and you know, I'm not ignorant. But if I have to go see my kids, and I have to go see my auntie, or I have to go see my grandmother or my mother, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care who's saying what or who's saying they're gonna do what. Well, I'm gonna have to die going out brave, and that's just what it is. Before I let somebody make me, you know what I'm saying, change how I'm living. It ain't happening like that.
It's home. It's always home.
XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
Jimmy Wapo.
Jimmy Wapo. Well, I think he was home too. Yeah, that's
all these guys.
Yeah, that's the story of, like, that's almost like the hip hop story. Like,
it is pretty much the hip hop story.
Yeah.
But here you are hanging out in your home city.
Yeah.
Were you feeling a sense of danger just overall being there, especially with the high profile name that you have?
Nah, cause you don't, like, with your shoes, being in your shoes, like, I'm almost 100% sure that Chinks didn't see Chinks, Stacks didn't see Stacks. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see whatever everybody else, what that is, everybody else see. You know, a nigga got on flip flops, nigga chilling, like, this the crib, like, this home. You feel me? This home, like, you know, if you put a collar on the dog neck, the dog can't see it.
Yeah.
That's just the, like, so now, all right, we put 50 pit bulls in the backyard, and one of the pit bulls, we put a shiny ass pink collar on that motherfucker. You know what I mean? If pit bulls got feelings, emotions, or care about having collars, them gonna be some bad dogs back there. You know what I mean? So a nigga, like I said, like, none of this shit don't impress me. You know what I mean? Like, a nigga might have on, you know what I mean, some $400 Jordans, or, you know what I mean, some $400 or $500 Yeezys, or some shit like that. Like, some shit that a nigga really don't even care about. You know what I mean? Like, I buy, you know what I mean, a fucking $500 sweatshirt or whatever the case may be, and I got mustard on that shit, you know what I mean, the same day. You feel me? But, you know, that pit bull across the backyard is looking like, that's a $500 shirt. I know it's more where that came from.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
So you're at the stoplight in Newark. A car pulls up and just opens fire.
Nah, I was like, I'm sitting at the light, you feel me, say shit. And I'm just like, my phone ring, I pick the phone up, it's my mother, you feel me, hello, blah, 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 blah. I get off the phone, and then I grab the steering wheel again, and then I hear the first shot. I see the bullet go through my arm, like the first one. You know what I mean? Because I grabbed it, like I was looking at I grabbed the steering wheel and shit. I hear the shot go off and go through my arm. You know what I mean? He got out the car and started shooting through the passenger.
Okay, so someone actually gets out the car and starts...
Yeah, like a couple, like, you know, we had a light. You know, it's this broad daylight. We had a light. My car, like 1 or 2 cars behind me, then a third car. He pull up, they hop out, you feel me? Coming on the passenger, start try to cheese me.
How many shots went off total?
I don't know. That shit feel like forever, my nigga.
A lot.
That shit feel like forever.
But you get hit 5 times.
Yeah.
Did you see who was shooting at you?
Nah.
Were they masked up?
I don't know.
It was just too fast.
No, it all happened. Like you get your little split second where a lot, you know what I mean? Like that was my split second between that first bullet and the rest of them. You feel me? Like that first bullet hit me. You know what I mean? That first bullet hit me, and you start thinking like, what the fuck? Damn, it's my time. Oh shit. Oh, this what you've been thinking about all your life? Cause you know what I mean? If you're a street nigga, like every nigga that's been in the street, think about that shit. Like you think about, cause all the homies go and people die and ops die and other niggas die. You think like, damn, you feel me? Like how my shit gonna end? You feel me? So after that first shot, that shit like, damn, this how it's gonna end right here. And then everything just pick back up. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Everything else is just fast motion. You know what I mean?
Was that the first time you'd ever gotten shot?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Well, you said something in a different interview. You said, I know me and Karma got a date. I'm just waiting for her to ring me up.
Yeah.
So that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, word.
So you're getting shot. You said the first shot went through your arm.
Word.
Where'd the rest of the shots go?
2 right here, 2 of my ribs, 2 of my stomach, 1 right here.
Okay. But you're actually conscious as all this
Yeah,
is
like
happening?
I ain't never like fall or pass out or nothing like that. Like I
Okay.
got out the car.
And you're in the car by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So you just get all shot up, and I'm sure your body's going into shock at this point. So you're probably not completely feeling it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I got up out of there.
And then where'd you go at that point?
I got up out the car and shit, so I jump out the car. I run like, you know what I mean, down the block. Now I'm trying to like pull that car doors. This car is driving past me. I'm trying to like pull that car doors as I'm running, and like cars swerving around me and shit, you know what I mean? Or whatever. And then I grab one car door and the door open, and I just fall inside and shit. I'm like, yo, I just fall in the car. I'm like, yo, could you take me to the hospital? He like, look, I ain't from around here. I just got off on the wrong, you know what I mean, wrong exit.
Okay.
I don't know where no hospital at. You know what I mean? But if you tell me where you gotta go, I'll take you. You feel me? Like
So
that.
a complete stranger allowed you to get in his car, and he drove you to the
I
hospital.
don't really think he allowed me and shit, cause I like kind of like dove in his shit. You know what I mean? Cause
Okay.
like, let's say if this is my car, and I'm driving, you know what I mean, and the shells come through my passenger, you know what I mean. So the other cars are coming this way. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, they coming this way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when I jump out, I start hauling ass that way. You know what I mean? So I stop and cars is just coming past me. You know what I mean? Type shit, some locking their door, some swerving around me. You know what I mean? His shit was unlocked. I just grabbed this shit, it like fell in his shit.
I mean, but he could have just jumped out the car and said, "Fuck this! I'm
Yeah, he
not trying to
could've-
get
yeah,
involved in any of this."
he
You know,
listened,
they
like-
might shoot me trying to finish off the job with you.
That's a fact, man. He listened and everything. Like he was super calm. Like that was his exact words. He said, "Look, I'm not from around here. You know what I mean? I don't know where no hospital is, but if you tell me where you going, where you need to go, I'll take you there." I mean, I just put my head back on the headrest and shit. I'm like, call this number for me. He called my man. I'm like, yo, I got shot. He laughed like, yo, stop playing. I'm like, nah, for real. Meet me at the hospital. I got shot. I mean, and I'm just directing him, and he take me to the hospital, and then I get out the hospital. I get out the car. I run to the emergency door, start banging on the door. You feel me? Run in there, and they.
Okay, so they admit you into the hospital.
Yeah.
And they put you on the operating table, pretty much.
Yeah, well.
And I guess they had to cut your stomach open, or
Yeah, definitely had to zip me up. Yeah.
can you actually show that, or?
Yeah, of course.
How many stitches?
It's like 37, some shit like that.
Okay, so at that point, I'm sure they put you under.
Yeah.
They start to operate you. Do you remember actually regaining consciousness?
Yeah, I woke up, my mother was right there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Crying?
Nah, I mean, you know, mothers cry. Yeah, I'm sure she was, I don't know if she was crying or not, you feel me? But she was there. She was there. I'm sure she had did enough crying. Like, she was right there, though, like
Okay.
always.
I mean, was there a certain thought on your way to the hospital? You were like, okay, I'm about to bleed to death and not make it to the hospital, and that's gonna be
Nah,
it.
like, I ain't never really, like, I wasn't really ever thinking about dying. You know what I mean? Like, actually, like, I was just thinking about my daughter and my mother, you feel me? Like, I was just like, yo, your mother's about to flip the fuck out. Like, yo, your mom's gonna go crazy. You know what I mean? And then just think about my daughter and shit. Like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you don't really know, like, you like, yo, this crazy right here, my nigga. Like, you do a lot of dumb shit, but this is the one right here. Like, what, like, yo, I don't even remember what exactly I was thinking about my daughter. Like, what I was just thinking about my daughter like a motherfucker. Word up.
Okay. So you come through, and are you on like morphined up at that point, pain medication and everything? So it's not fully hitting you yet as to how
you be
bad.
tripping out. You be tripping out. Like, that shit traumatizing, my nigga. Like, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. Like, I mean, obviously you got other situations, like there's people that's been in life-threatening car crashes and, you know what I mean, torture, shit like that. It's other stuff, but like, until you've tapped that line, you've never been through nothing like it, my nigga. Like, the getting shot part was the easiest part if we talking about my process. You know what I mean? Like, I had to actually, they say when you go in, the toughest part about going to jail is turning yourself in. It's easier if you just get locked up, you know what I mean? It just happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had 3 surgeries after that I had to actually walk in and go back and put myself to, you know what I mean? Put myself to sleep, you know what I mean? Type shit. Like, you know, so like, it's the whole getting back process, not being able to walk up the stairs, my arm in a sling, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? These staples is real, you know what I mean? Trying to explain to my daughter, like, you know what I mean? Like, being in the hospital, like, the whole fucking wing was shut down when I got shot, you know what I mean? Like they got armed security out here, people with guns at the door, you know what I mean? Like, every 5 minutes, the cops coming in here, like, with an ID in my face. Do you know this person? Nah, I don't know them. You know what I mean? Like, that type of weird shit, you know? Like, it was, and you thinking all types of shit, my nigga. You morphined up. You just almost got killed. Nigga, Tupac died 5 days later, you know what I mean? So, like, this never happened to me before, you feel me? I ain't feel like I was okay till, shit, I still don't feel like it's okay. It's still fragments in me, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, I have a day with my leg, I feel like my leg don't feel good, you feel me? And I'm like, man, I need to call my doctor, man. I feel like the fragment moved, you know what I mean? Like, that shit traumatizing my nigga for forever, like, for guaranteed.
Any of your like major organs?
Yeah, my colon got hit.
Your colon got hit.
Word.
Yeah, I just interviewed Keek the Sneak. He got shot, I think 8 times, and his spleen got removed.
Yeah.
He was in a machine as we're doing our interview that was cleansing his body.
Yeah, it's all types of machines. If you
Yeah.
don't understand, you don't know about that shit till you wake up, my nigga. Like, that's the thing. Like, you feel me? I ain't want to preach, you feel me? Because I ain't going to act like I run with some of the dirtiest, filthiest, you feel me? Type shit. So I ain't want to be you know what I mean? To be preaching about no shit. You feel me? But, like, you really don't understand that shit until you wake up and you can't, you know what I mean, do it. Like, I'm like, nigga, I wake up and, like, I'm just looking at my arm and it won't move. You know what I mean? Type shit. They're like, oh yeah, that's a colostomy bag, and you looking and, like, shit's coming out your stomach and you can't control it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Type shit. So it sound all crazy. Like, that shit makes sense. I get it. Fuck the op. Like, you talk to me and the guys. I get it. You feel me? It's definitely, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, all for the cause if that's the life you live in. You feel me? But, like, them consequences is real life, my nigga. Real life.
Well, you did an interview on Bootleg Kev's show, and you said you talked about getting shot, and you said the reality of the situation is I attempted to murder somebody. I didn't finish what I was supposed to do, and I got shot. That's a direct quote. Do you know who did it?
So that mean I don't gotta say it again if it's a direct quote.
Right. If that person walked in the room right now, what would happen?
So that mean I don't gotta say it again if it was a direct quote.
Fair enough. Do you know, in every situation, a person can feel like they're a victim, or they could feel like they're going to take responsibility and say, you know, I'm going to take, you know, there is a reason why I was in this particular situation. When you look at that overall situation, do you feel like a victim, or do you feel like your own actions put you in that to a certain degree?
Or you could feel like a part of the habitat. Motherfucking, I don't know if, like, do jaguars feel like the victim? You know what I mean? When a jaguar go kill an alligator, you feel me? An alligator go kill a fucking whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So who the victim? You feel me? Type shit like you did. Who knows? You feel me? Like it's not really like it's a part of like it's no real. I mean, we all victims, my nigga. Like realistically, like it's a sad story. It's a sad situation. Period. You feel me? Like we all victims. Like how I bit. Like you know what I mean? Like that's just a code niggas live by. Eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. You feel me? One of mine's, one of yours. You know what I mean? So it's like if you caught in that type of cycle, realistically, we all victims. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just the sad story of how it is. You know what I mean? Like it's not like ain't nobody picking on me or bullying me. You know what I mean? Like that's church talk. He was a good kid. He was a good guy. Nobody in that church hung with him every day. Nobody in that church was around him. Nobody in that church was out 3, 4 in the morning when he was pilled up, masked up with the homies and doing, you know what I mean? Everybody wasn't a good guy. Everybody wasn't a, you know what I mean? No, he was a good guy around. That's what the pastor's supposed to say. That's what the pastor's supposed to say. You know what I mean? Tell you shit. So, you know, so like sometimes that shit is a part of the habitat. You know what I mean? Like it's just, you put this group and that group, you know, and this group run together. They eat together. They sleep together. This the family. This the pack. Something happened to one of theirs. Like, are they not entitled? Like, are they not supposed to? Like, you know what I mean? So now we start a cycle. Now we come back this way, and then y'all gotta like that's a forever cycle. That's like something like that is, you know what I mean? Like war is something that's almost a forever cycle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sad. It's a revolving door to a certain degree. After that happened, you know, you go to jail and you suffer from being away from your family and being in a cage, but when you get shot, it's a different level right there. Once you start to recover and, you know, the morphine is wearing off and you're having to deal with the pain and the injuries and everything, was there any level of, okay, I got to completely change my life around and never put myself in a situation like this again?
Yeah, you always had that. Like that shit is in and out. Like that shit just as fast as blinking. If somebody tries to hurt you, that shit just as flat. Like your thought process is just as fast as blinking. Like it's different. Like a car crash is like, all right, I want to be healthy. I want to see my kid more. I want to do this more. I want to live more. I want to, you know what I mean, type shit. Somebody trying to murder you, your thought process changes as fast as blinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 1 minute you want to do better, the next minute you want blood. Like the next minute you want to do better, the next minute somebody owe you something. The next minute your daughter deserve more, the next minute somebody deserve to die. Like that's a real thing. Like that's not, you know what I mean? There's nobody that could take that away from you. Anybody. You know what I mean? Like you don't got to be in the streets. You don't got to be in a gang. You don't got to be involved in none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like once you've witnessed that or been through that, that's just how it happens. Some days I wake up and I'm like, man, let me FaceTime my daughter, man. I'm so glad I could be a father. Other days I wake up and I want to call the homies like, man, let's go outside. Like, let's go. Like, you feel like somebody owe you something. Like, it's your life. Like, it's your life. Like, every time I take off a shirt, every time I go to lotion up, every time I go to, you know what I mean? I'm sitting there playing my daughter. Like, I mean, my daughter don't fully it's going to play with you for forever.
You're reminded of it constantly.
For forever, my nigga. For forever. Like, when it get cold, you know what I mean? My body feel crazy all tonight. That's forever, my nigga.
Yeah. It's sad. I recently had BG Knockout.
Yeah,
it was a regular guest. You guys know BG Knockout?
Come on.
That's the homie. He said something very interesting. You know, BG Knockout's a Crip as well, you know, his whole life. And I started to bring up these hypothetical situations, right? You're in the car, somebody, you know, one of your rivals shoots you. Do you tell the police who did it? No. Okay. You're in the car, your mother gets shot. Do you tell the police? No. You're in the car, your child gets shot. No. A random rapper that you're internet beefing with that's not gang related shoots you. No. Under every situation, he will not tell the police who shot him, regardless of the situation. And then he says something very interesting.
Certain gangs or certain races and groups have certain policies. You ever heard the book called The Art of War?
Yeah. Sun Tzu.
Okay, so this is one of the books that, you know, prison gangs and groups read in jail. They study this book and they live by it. Now, the whites in prison and the Mexicans, for the most part, have a policy that they can tell on anybody that's not a part of their group. It comes from the art of war. It's pretty much, you know, getting rid of your enemy by any means. And the greatest war fought is one that, the greatest war won is one that you don't have to fight necessarily, right? So, they have this thing, yo, and one thing that I do know is that if you at war, at odds with somebody or with an enemy, and you don't fight the war the same way, you're probably not gonna win.
Number one, do you go by that same set of rules?
What, no telling? Of course, that's we gonna live like
Right.
we gonna rock out.
So if your own child gets killed,
That's not up for, that's none of the law's business.
okay, even if it's some random serial killer that got nothing to do with
That's
nothing.
like I feel like there's one person acceptable for telling, and that's just my opinion. That's one person, and that's the civilian.
Right.
The civilian passes all laws of flop. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's grandmother that pays her taxes, that has nothing to do with nothing, that goes to church every day or goes to the masjid or wherever she does and lives her regular life and doesn't live by these gang laws and these street laws and whatever laws that we've made up to live by, if you know what I mean, if something happens to her and that's the man that stole my purse or that's the man that, you know what I mean, like then she has all right to it. That's the reality of things. You know what I mean? It's people, any 6 degrees of knowing of anything involved, you can, like, there's no telling. You know what I mean? If you're in a room and you just peek back and you see what we doing, but you know what we doing, no, there's no telling, period. There's no telling. There's no.
I'm a civilian.
You're a civilian.
Yeah, you shoot or rob me, I'm telling.
See, but niggas might not treat you like that, Vlad. I'm not gonna lie.
It is what it is.
Niggas might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm living my truth.
Niggas
Niggas
might hold you up to a high standard.
I'm not gonna go shooting back at you.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
No, I didn't get anybody indicted.
You got a couple niggas indicted.
I didn't get a single person indicted. Who did I get indicted? Who did I get indicted?
I ain't about to open another indictment on who you indicted.
My name is on no paperwork. Nobody got indicted.
Realistically, it's like it's a such thing as bait. Like it's a such thing as bait. You're a baiter. You feel me? Like you're a baiter. So of course you wouldn't take the bait for. You wouldn't say I got anybody indicted, but you fish. No. You feel me? You fish, and some of you know what I mean. Some of my peers and some of you know what I mean. Some of the people that sat in this seat aren't, I wouldn't say smart enough, but you feel me, aren't fast enough. You know what I mean? Aren't witty enough or aren't intelligent enough to know when it's bait being swung their way or when they're supposed to dip the bait. You know what I mean? Type shit. So hell yeah, nah. You're definitely, you know when they say unknown CI, like it's you didn't do it, but. Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't work with the police. I
don't cooperate. No, of course not.
I don't take the stand. I don't. If police ever try to seize any sort of footage, I would deny it. I would fight it.
You don't got to. It go straight to go straight to YouTube.
Yeah. Whatever. You're right now you're wearing a microphone under your shirt. There's another microphone pointing at you and 2 cameras pointing at you.
That was up to me. Yeah.
Whatever you say is totally up to you.
No, but
and when you say no comment, I go on to the next question.
That I fully agree with you, but see, that's what I said.
But when you said I get people indicted, I don't get anybody indicted. I don't get nobody indicted. I'm going to put my foot down on that one.
Nah, listen, I respect it. I respect it. You feel me? Like I respect you. And I'm not saying that like you don't sign nobody paperwork. You understand what I'm saying? But from a consumer standpoint, from somebody that's in the street, you know what I mean? Like. You know, in a certain world, and you sit back and you watch somebody, you know what I mean? Like you're a trickster. You know what I mean? Like you could like.
You think I trick people?
A person that isn't fast enough to keep up with what's going on. A person that can't speak. You know what I mean? That everybody doesn't speak well. Everybody doesn't. When the lights on, you know what I mean? Everybody isn't. You know what I mean? So granted, a motherfucker sit here on their own.
Well,
a person could get tangled up in the VladTV interview.
Well, I'll put it like this. Some people that have interviewed with me have gotten arrested after the fact, but it was never because my interview came out and suddenly they get arrested. They get arrested for whatever illegal activities they
And
end
then
up
they
doing.
just end up on Vlad, and then just
No, and then the police are going to look at the whole thing. They're going to look at everything they put on Instagram. They're going to look at all the interviews they do. They're going to look at everything as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? They don't just look at VladTV.
Yeah.
They'll look at everything. I never talk about anything that anyone is actively doing. We'll talk about a situation like yours that
it
happened. If you did your time, and then if you pleaded guilty to it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's any situation that was in the past statute of limitations, we'll talk about it. But I'll never say, so what illegal activities are you doing right now? I would never, ever ask that.
Nah, I know that. Vlad. I know that. We not. I don't
No,
think
man.
that's
I mean,
true.
and I'm happy to debate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
I'll
course.
stand my ground.
That's all. That's all it is. It's a good. You feel me? It's a good
debate.
It's a good friendly debate. You feel?
It's a good friendly debate.
That's all.
And I've had it lots of times. What's your take on Takashi 6ix9ine?
That's fucked up. I feel like everybody that's, like in the mix kind of feel like it's a little, once you turn over though, it is what it is, like good for you. You know what I mean? But, you always still set, like once you see a nigga age and stuff like that, he 22, like you don't know nothing. You know what I mean? And you don't really know nothing. You don't know that you don't know nothing until you're older. You know what I mean? Like now I'm at this age and I look back, I'm like, damn, 22. Now looking back, I know I ain't know shit. You feel me? So you just know that he ain't really know half the shit that was going on. Like really when you're somebody that's in the mix, you know what I mean? It's a lot of politics, a lot of extra shit that goes on with, you know what I mean? That's bigger than just these cameras. That's bigger than just that flag you got on. That's bigger than just throwing up that sign, but yet you want to throw the sign up. You want to be on camera. You want to be talking about X, Y, and Z. This opens up a whole book. You know what I mean? So it's almost sad to see somebody get caught up in the spin cycle of this lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because this lifestyle is a wild bull, my nigga. You gonna control it or you gonna get trampled. You know what I mean? Because you got some people that have putting a light on the lifestyle, like, you know what I mean, of the gang culture, of the, like, everybody that's in the gang isn't bad, isn't negative. Like, it's people that want to do things. It's people that's doing more for the community, doing things for the community every day. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so with that being said, you know what I mean, like, you could get caught up in the wrong politics. You know what I mean? So it's fucked up when you see somebody get caught up in the other shit. You know what I mean? And that's what he's a case of. He's a case of somebody that got caught up in the other shit. You know what I mean?
Do you think he got caught up, or do you think that he was actually the conductor of all that shit?
I mean,
he's on camera putting a hit out on somebody.
Allegedly.
I mean, he testified to that later on.
Yeah,
he's on paperwork.
I don't keep up with the case like that to see.
I keep up with the case. I actually had his baby mama.
Yeah.
On VladTV,
Nice girl?
reading his
She was a good girl?
Yeah, she was cool. But I had her read his actual guilty plea.
The defendant's obligation under this agreement are as follows: that he shall truthfully and completely disclose all information of the activities of himself and others to the U.S. Attorney's Office, that he will cooperate fully with the New York City Police Department, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Homeland Security Investigations, and other law enforcement agencies. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
That he shall attend all meetings of the office, that he shall provide to the office upon request any document that shall truthfully testify before the grand jury or at any trial, that he shall bring the office's attention all crimes which he has committed, and that he shall commit no further crimes.
Okay, and read the next paragraph, and that'll be it.
If the defendant does this, the office, and this is detailed on pages 4 and 5 of the agreement, agrees not to prosecute the defendant for the crimes set forth in counts 1 through 9 of superseding information, as well as additional crimes that the defendant has told the government about.
So he went and testified against the shooter that he told that.
To shoot. That'd be like me telling you
To go do
to
something.
go
and
shoot
then-
Steve
and then
LaBelle,
tell- and then tell
and then tell
that, yeah.
that you just shot at Steve LaBelle, even though I'm the one that paid you to do it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy. It's fucked up.
Like, I personally have a problem with that.
Yeah, we all should have, like, that's like we all should have a problem. But again, like that's why you almost still feel it still almost go back to being sad because he's 22. Like money brings power. Period. You understand what I'm saying? You give a motherfucker some type of juice that they ain't even supposed to have because they got a few hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you know what I mean? And this is what really happens. Like, would a 22-year-old have been able to tell whoever the fuck that was to do whatever if he couldn't give him a 20-pack? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say it's almost sad when you mix in all the politics between business, the streets, and there's some people that it's a wild bull. Like, you be talking about the streets mixed in with rap shit because that's what happened. Like, you got half of it is public, which is rap shit, half of it is street shit. You know what I mean? Half of it is life shit. So it's all intertwining, and a motherfucker can't balance it all. It's a sad story.
It's all intermixed. But if you look at this whole case, a lot of the things that people are being charged with are situations that Takashi's people were handling over beefs that he started himself. You know what I'm saying? Like the Barclay situation, and like I said, the whole Chief Keef situation, and all that. And yet he's in a position to tell on everybody and walk away while everyone else gets caught with 20, 30 years. Like, that to me is fucking mind-blowing. Just so much, you know,
that's the way the
even
system,
the way that the system would even allow something like that. The fact that you are having people do certain things on your behalf, and then you could just go tell on everyone and walk away.
Nah, see, but it's super fucked up. You feel me? Like, it's actually it's scary, but it's like it's almost like the rat is not like the rat not treated like the rat no more in this generation. It seemed like, you know what I mean, type shit. Like, you know, you watch these gangster movies and, you know, this Casino and Goodfellas and shit like that. Like, you know, the rat was treated a certain type of way. Like, a nigga tell some shit now and really just move, switch his gang name and switch his gang set, and he's accepted. You know what I mean, type shit. And you know, something like Cuz said that other gangs don't let niggas tell on. You know what I mean? Like, as long as you tell on somebody outside of, that's false. It's niggas that do that. It's black people that do that. It's niggas that fully run around with rats that feel as though if you not telling on me and the niggas that, if my niggas didn't tell on, you know what I mean? If my niggas didn't tell on nobody in the circle, we don't care if he told. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, that's not law. You know what I mean? Like, that's not law. Like, this generation just kind of like changed a lot of shit up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and you know, and I've had this debate with a couple of people. You know, people like China Mac, who's a regular on the show, and the general consensus is that,
yo, it hurts me to say this. Really does. It really hurts me. But yes. And it just shows you just where it's at now. Like, you know what I mean? It's really disgusting to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I really firmly believe that if you're not in the streets, then stay the fuck out of the streets. Like, you know what I mean? You can't play in this shit. And then when it happens, you just like, you know, if you with it, you with it. If you not with it, you not with it. Like, you know what I mean? I really hate to see these fucking stupid ass kids just be doing all this shit and they not built for it. And you know what I'm saying? And then they fold like a beach shit. So honestly, I think like the way the game, the way the world, the way everything is all set up now, yes, he's gonna come back out and people aren't even gonna care about it. The streets will care about it. You know what I'm saying? But so he can never come back like on like his gangster street stuff. But I definitely think he could come out and just make make rock and like whatever type of music and just do it for the ladies and do it for the clubs. And I think people's gonna jack it.
yeah, because that's the funny part. Like, the funny part is like the two intertwine, but have nothing. Like the industry don't give a fuck about the streets.
Right.
At all, and you do not like, and you don't find out about it till you get behind the closed doors. Like they want to pay you to act and sing and dance like these street motherfuckers, but they don't want, the industry wants nothing to do with the streets. The industry wants absolutely nothing to do with the streets, period. Don't let nobody tell you different. They want the antics. They want you to parade around and act like you shoot people and act like you get shot and act like you hang with the Crips and hang with the Bloods. But they don't want that shit in their offices. They don't want it at all.
I interviewed No Plug after he, killed Bankroll Fresh. And people hated me over that interview. Like, how do you let this person talk about everything else like that?
If I was Bankroll Fresh peoples, I'd have felt some type of way too.
They do feel some type of way.
Yeah,
about it.
that's pretty.
They do feel some type of way, but
Why?
later,
I can ask.
well, I was just gonna say later on, they actually released the videotape of it, and it was exactly the way he described it. Bankroll Fresh shot at him first,
Yeah.
and he returned fire.
Yeah.
You know, people want that gangster shit. They want to hear it played out on Instagram and in the songs.
Yeah.
But when you actually show it to them, like here's this real gangster shit. This is what really happens. This is what happens when people start shooting at each other. People end up dying, and you might be a fan of this person who died, and this person has a family, and it's fucking sad, and and even No Plug feels fucked up over it.
Yeah.
Because that used to be his friend.
Yeah.
But here's that gangster shit right here, here in your face, and people are mad that it's really right here in your face.
Yeah.
But this is really what happens off camera.
What's going on? Like that's the thing. Like people really don't realize that like these cameras cut off. Like it's real life going on outside of this shit. You know what I mean? Like that's a fact.
You want to say something?
Yeah. Like so, what made you like you reached that? Like why were you interested in like that interview?
Well, they reached out to me.
Okay.
He reached out to me, and the story was already circulating around that this dude named No Plug killed Bankroll Fresh, and he wanted to come on our platform to tell his side of the story.
Okay, gotcha.
And his side of the story was
Shots was fired and he was hit, yeah.
So at that point, you jumped in your car and drove off?
We was in the car. I was sitting in the car when he fired the shot. So when he fired the shot, shots was fired back and I left.
Okay, so you never even got out the car?
No, the second time when he came back out, because when I pulled up, I wasn't intending to get out the car, because I was asking a couple niggas who like it was his muscle and they know what's going on with No Plug and 9 for it, you know what I'm saying? So they was trying to resolve the situation, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't trying to get no phone. He wasn't trying to get no phone back, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to get my phones back. Like when we got the tussle, he dropped the pistol, you know what I'm saying, that was picked up. You know what I'm saying, in the scuffle, you know what I'm saying? So he was saying give him a pistol back so he can get the phone, so I can get my phone back. I was like, it ain't working like that, you know what I'm saying? So shit escalated.
And then you turned yourself in?
Yeah, hell yeah. I went from the run from that shit. Shit, I was whatever was gonna happen. I know I was ready for whatever situation. If I had to take the shit to trial, like my lawyer, he's the best lawyer in goddamn Atlanta, Georgia, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he was feeling like a target.
Yeah.
Without him telling his story.
Like he did, yeah.
And people love Bankroll Fresh. Bankroll Fresh was the bigger artist. You know what I mean? So we said, we made the decision to say, okay, we're gonna give you a platform.
Yeah.
To it. I didn't really like the way he did it. He was kind of smiling a little bit during that time and so forth.
So you don't agree with?
I don't like the way that he presented it.
Okay.
I don't, which is why we didn't do any follow-up interviews and so forth. But, I mean, the reality is someone tries to kill you and you end up killing them, you're not going to feel a whole lot of remorse.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like if let's just say that situation in the car, if you saw them dudes in the rear view, and when they pulled out their guns, you killed one of them first, you wouldn't be sitting here crying about it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be.
Nah, understandable.
A lot of your peers were on Wild 'N Out. You yourself have never been?
Nah.
Why is that?
I just not. I I wouldn't say a lot. It's a lot of battle rappers. It's about 3 battle rappers on Wild 'N Out. Charlie Clips,
Conceited.
Hitman.
Hitman. That's it?
Yeah.
Well, why do I feel like there's more?
Everybody's so connected, like via social media and stuff like that. That's why I feel like, you know what I mean. But nah, it's just 3 battle rappers up there. But nah, I would do like an episode, you know what I mean, type thing. But like a Wild 'N Out season, really don't. That's not really I'm not really the stand-up comedy type. You know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like these days you're focusing more on the music. Are you looking to get back into battle rap or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still an active like battle rapper. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, no, I just got to check, you know what I mean, for this upcoming year. You know what I mean?
Oh, you got something coming up. Can you say who it's with?
No, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know what I mean, I'm definitely battling this year. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not, but now it's definitely more so a source of income than it is like a hunger thing. You know what I mean?
Okay. And you're actually in the studio with a bunch of artists too.
Word. Me and Mozzie working on a joint tape right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, you and Mozzie have a joint project together. Dope.
We just finished it up this weekend.
Okay, yeah, I've interviewed Mozzie before.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Good dude.
That's the homie. That's what man.
Good dude.
I love that boy. Word.
Who else?
I was fucking with, I swung past to listen to Game shit. He been working on that album. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. You got some stuff with Game coming up or?
Nah, we got a couple joints done, you know what I mean, type shit. Like, it's just, you know, it's just I just swing through it always. Just, you know, want to hear what he got working on and stuff like that. The fact that he even, you know what I mean, respect my ear enough to want to pull me through, like, yo, listen to this type shit. You know what I mean? That shit, that's mind-blowing to me, you feel me, type shit. You know, you grow up listening to 50 and Game and niggas like that, you know what I mean? So, you know, being in the studio with fucking Game, listening to his album is fucking crazy.
Game's like a real hip-hop motherfucker. Like,
He
sometimes, like, you know, what he does on social media,
the extra shit
eclipses that, but when you really get down to it, he's like a real hip-hop head.
That's a fact. Yeah, he one of the bigger West Coast names coming, like, shit.
Definitely. I mean, he was really the only West Coast dude for a while in terms of, like, new guys that was holding it down for some years until, like, Kendrick and all them started to pick up steam.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Nah. I keep it real tight. Like, I ain't you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a music whore. Like, I don't, you know, like, some people just, you know, I mean, some people like that. Some people want to work with everybody and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And then you get the music whores that people just try to work with everybody, but I mean, I more so just fuck with who I fuck with, you know what I mean? Rather, or do it myself.
And you just dropped 725. Why that name?
Oh, that was the day I got shot. Or ironically, I got, like, when you look at the report and shit, I got shot at 7:25. I got shot, the date was 7:25 at 7:25 p.m. You know what I mean? So that was tight, weird.
Okay. And Beanie Siegel's on it?
Word. That's big bro. Yeah, Beans. That was a crazy experience.
Benny the Butcher?
Yeah, I like Benny. They got that whole Griselda movement. Like, they going crazy. I fuck with Benny. He show hella love.
Yep. Mozzie's on a couple songs.
Yeah, I got Mozzie on too, man. Me and Mozzie, we got something crazy going.
Tokyo Jets.
Yeah, I fuck with Tokyo too, man. She's super fired. She one of the better female spitters coming out. You know what I mean? Like, doing her own shit. She always on tour. You feel me? Like I said, all the super bars. You know what I mean? Super bars. So I had a joint that I heard. You feel me? And one of my homegirls there's a fan. You feel me already? So I was familiar with. I'm like, damn, what's little shorty name that you always? You know what I mean? Like, yo, like, yeah. And then I reached out to her. She reached right back. You feel me? So.
Yeah, man, you got some solid features, man. The Beanie Siegel one's the one that kind of stands out, though.
That shit's crazy to me. That shit's like, my nigga, I remember that shit. Like, you know, I'm in the studio with him, and he just he like rapping to me and shit, but like his face like right here, like his lips damn near on my face. You know what I mean? Like, type shit. And you could tell he in his zone. Like, his verse is crazy. You know what I mean? So he like rapping and shit, and like he just like breathing on my face, but he rapping it. That shit was sending chills up my spine, my nigga. Like, no homo. Like, I'm like, this fucking Beanie Siegel, like the Beanie Siegel that was like Jay-Z's hitter, like running around with fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, no, that's
the Broad
one of the
Street bully, nigga. Like, fucking Beans.
I've always considered that to be one of the actual gangsters in hip hop. I feel like there's not that many, you know,
Beans.
but Beanie Siegel is one of the actual what I feel certified gangsters
Yeah,
in hip hop.
Beans one of like, you know, like music could be life changing. You know what I mean? Like music could change your life. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like
Yeah.
I could like, I'm 100%, 150% sure Jadakiss, Beanie Siegel, 50 Cent. You know what I mean? Jadakiss, Beanie Siegel, 50 Cent. They have a big staple in my personality, in my character, in my, you know what I mean? Get Rich or Die Trying came out that summer. That, you know what I mean, everything happened like that. Like 50 had you like, all right, I'm outside. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like, nah, Get Rich or Die Trying, like, changed a lot of, I'm sure you ask the average nigga that was in the street, 28, 29, 30, like, you know what I mean, what was the soundtrack to your life?
50 Cent.
50 Cent, Get Rich or Die
that
Trying.
debut album was on a like completely different
it,
level.
it walked you through. And it wasn't like, it was, the scary part about Get Rich or Die Trying was that the average, you know, like the average hip hop album is going backwards. It's telling you like what was. It felt like Get Rich or Die Trying was what was to come.
Yeah, and it actually
You know
came
what I
true.
mean? Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like
He predicted it.
Exactly. It felt just like
He
that.
got
You feel
rich.
me? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like Get Rich or Die Trying. It felt like it was going forward. Like it felt like this is what the streets is. It sounds crazy, but this is what the streets is becoming. You know what I mean? Like, and so for somebody to drop a project that was going forward like that, it like almost changed the culture. You know what I mean?
50 definitely changed the culture.
It definitely,
100%.
it actually definitely
100%.
changed the culture. You know what I mean? Type shit like that. That shit did something for the streets. You know what I mean? Type shit. And you know, like I said, I vividly remember 50, like bumping 50 in the car, like with the homies, like we out. You know what I mean? Type shit. Like he definitely, you know what I mean? So, you know, that his album is, I got shit right now that's dropped right now, this year, last year, it's shit that's dropped that I don't got. Get Rich or Die Trying's on my phone.
Well, Tsu Surf, man, congratulations. Well, number one on being here.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because you talk about that shooting situation, a couple millimeters in a slightly different direction.
That's exactly what, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know people that have gotten shot in the leg and didn't make it.
Yeah, 1 time, 2 times. You know what I mean?
You know,
It's a fact.
you know, the fact that I know you're going through your pain and so forth, but you're able to walk around, you're able to function.
Yeah.
You know, and it seems like you're healing up, I think is amazing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? And I think that's you know, pure will.
Yeah.
The fact that you wanted to live through that situation. Because another person would have just sat there in the car and just died.
See, but going through that situation, I mean, real quick, going through that situation, that's definitely one thing I've learned. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about like a head shot, a neck shot, or like a main artery. Like those type of things, it's some shots that a motherfucker just can't control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get hit in the head, you get hit in the main artery, there's nothing you can do. But I'm just talking about willpower. You know what I mean? Like when I going through that, showed me like a will thing. You know what I mean? Like you ever see you watching a video like World Star or something, like a dude just getting beat up, getting wailed on, and he just ball up. It's like, yo, why you not fighting back? It's definitely like fighting back could be the difference from you living in, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like when them shots rung out, I could have just like, I'm shot, balled up, and oh my God, wait till the shot's done. You know what I mean? But that wasn't my mindset. My mindset was, nigga, you got a daughter, you got a mother, get the fuck up out this car and get to the hospital.
And that's what saved you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it's like you know what I mean? Not a coward. Like that word sounds so terrible. Like, you know what I mean? But a scary person, a person that, you know what I mean, that just doesn't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like a person that's just, you know what I mean, just freaking out. You might be a goner, my nigga. Like you keep it together.
100%.
Keep it together.
100%. Tsu Surf, man, I appreciate you sharing your story.
Already.
I think it's gonna, you know, we never try to glamorize
Yeah.
the violence.
Nah, cause it's
and
not.
the prison time and so forth. And this is why I had you lift up your shirt and show people that, like, you know, we're not playing around with this conversation here, that there's real serious ramifications and repercussions in living that type of life. And but it sounds like you've learned from that, and it sounds like you're moving differently.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
you know, I'm going to assume that's never going to happen to you again. You know, so be safe out there, man. Keep pushing the music forward.
Yeah.
Keep doing these projects. Can't wait for that Mozzie
You already.
joint project to come out.
Yeah, already. We working.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
next time we talk, man, you know, hopefully you'll have that big hit song
We working
that
on
everybody knows of. And you doing your world tours and stadiums and so forth, man. And we can look back on this and, you know, talk about the struggle to get you to where you ended up succeeding at, man. But you
right.
already have beaten the odds.
I appreciate that.
No doubt, man.
That's
Until
love.
next time.
Thank you.
Peace.